Arcanus, how's it going? Oh, where's my phone? Well, I don't have my phone in here, but I just got back from the gym. I was doing good old leg workout. I can really feel my hamstrings right now. And I got somebody to take a video of me with 810 pounds on my back on a machine squat. So I'm looking forward to posting that pretty soon. Free time from work. Yeah, I'm already pretty warm, so normally I'd warm up before my stretching. But instead, I'm going to flush out any inflammation with my foam roller. And then I'm probably going to stretch for an hour or so. Here, I'll be right back. I'll show you the video from my phone, but I got to get it. 20 seconds. All right, so I go gallery. You can't see. That's 810 pounds. That's 18 plates. I think I do a set of 10. It's not really a squat though. It's a mixture between a leg press and a hip thrust. You can hear me breathing though. The whole set takes over a minute. So I'm happy with that. I think I killed my camera. Maybe go to focus. Oh, that's the most you can fit on that machine. You can't fit any more in that machine. But really, it's hard in some ways and easier in others. I still have marks on my shoulders from it, right? That's from the weight. That's from the weight. Oh. Got a little bit of inflammation in my lower back. Oh, feels good. Just roll it out. So, are you on like a 15-minute break or something? Oh. I can feel my hamstrings being all pumped up today. Oh. All right, that's probably more than enough. Oh. I already took one shower today. I'll probably take a second. Who's that? Mike Woods, how's it going? Finished leg workout, got back home, had a protein shake, and then I'm going to foam roll, I'm going to stretch for an hour. Well, probably over an hour, all said and done. I have 2 videos that I follow along with for my stretching routine when I want to do a long one. Otherwise, I have some quick stuff I do every morning or every night before I go to bed. It's like 5-10 minutes and done. Oh. And I got marks to my shoulders from having weight on my back, and that's just the weight pushing on my muscle shirt. But yeah, I gotta get on a diet too. I'm a little bit less lean. I got a little bit more fat down here, but I'm not worried. I'm getting stronger. I'm getting bigger, and I actually started leaning out. Like I changed my diet this weekend. Like for today, my food intake for today was I got up, I had a bunch of fruit. I didn't really keep track of how many calories. I just had some fruit. Then I had my veggie shake. Then I had my fruit. Then I took a little break. Then I had a salad that's like this big with some chicken strips in it. Then I had another salad and a refill with some ground turkey in it. And then I'm talking, these are massive salads. And then what did I have? I had a protein strawberry ice cream shake. And then I went to the gym, came back, had a protein shake. And like the ice cream isn't really a shake. It's mostly frozen strawberries. There is some protein powder in it, but it's mostly soy milk and strawberries and thickening agent just to make it more filling. But for like the last maybe couple months, I've been eating lots of rice. I've been eating lots of meat. I've been eating lots of vegetables, and no, it's not bad to have too much fruit. You gotta think about what fruit that you're eating. Any type of melon, like any type of berry, are very low calorie. They got lots of fiber in them. I'll give you like strawberries. 1 pound of strawberries is 150 calories. How many pounds of strawberries do you think that you can eat in one day? Right? So if you eat 10 pounds of strawberries, you're still not going to meet like 2,000 calories a day. And you're going to be you're not going to, like, you're going to be full, but you're also going to be sick of strawberries. Strawberries, star fruit is actually, I think, the #1 pound per pound fruit for volume versus calories. And then I think it's blueberries, strawberries, and then any type of melon. You go to stuff like avocado. Avocado is healthy, but it's only healthy in smaller doses. It's quite high in calories. And so you don't want to eat as much avocado as you can, because suddenly, like, oh, I just had 1,500 calories in avocados without even trying. Okay. So I'm going to do my calves on this thing, then I'm going to do my quads, and then I'm going to start my stretching routine. I hit my calves nicely today. I hit my hamstrings nicely today. I'll put weight on my foot, or on my calf, with my other foot, just so I can get as much weight on there as I can. alternative is to forego the foam roller and bring out the lacrosse ball. And the lacrosse ball is just pain, but you get pinpoint accuracy, and like particularly with your feet, it just hurts so good. Here, I'll read that in a sec. Let me hit this calf. There we go, right there. See, low carb doesn't matter. Low fat doesn't matter. It comes down to calories in your diet. You can have an effective diet that's low in carb. You can have an effective diet that's low in fat. I wouldn't recommend going too low in protein because you need protein to build muscle, but you don't need a lot. It's not hard to get your minimum amount of protein that you need, but if anything you get over what you need, it's just going to go through your body and not really have any more beneficial effects, but it'll be there when you need it. It really comes down to a diet that you enjoy, that you can stick with, and that you can see yourself maintaining for basically the rest of your life. All right, so my quads, and I'll probably do my last two. Lots of lifting this weekend, following like a push-pull legs. So Friday, I did back to failure. I did 40 pull-ups with 125 pounds on my waist. I did cable pull-downs, maxed out the machine, and I was doing sets of 13 to failure. Then, what did I do? I think I did deadlifts, I know that. Oh, I did rows. Yeah, I think I just did rows and deadlifts. And the next thing I know, it's 2 hours and my gym session is done. And the gym's closing and they're kicking me out. All right, yeah. Hope you enjoy your lunch. But myself, I like a high protein diet. I like eating meat. And protein is often pretty good for keeping you full quicker and for longer. But even when I'm on a high protein diet, I'm often balancing my fat, my carbs, my protein. So it might, like sometimes it might be a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 split, or it's sometimes it might vary day by day, but over a week it's pretty balanced. But if I want to start losing weight, I just eat less. Well, I like eating, so I like being full, right? Like I could eat until I'm not hungry, and that's a perfectly valid way to lose weight. You just eat until you're not hungry, be in a calorie deficit that way, and it's fine. But I like to be full, so I like to eat a lot of volume of food, and in doing so, I have to pick my foods carefully. I got to pick the ones that are high filling, low calories, and that I can eat as much as I want. To the point where I don't necessarily even have to track the calories. I just know I'm not going to be gaining too much weight. And then if I do start overeating to the point where I'm starting to change slightly over time in a way I don't want, I can just cut back a little bit and that's what I eat. Anyways, so I'm going to start my stretching now. I don't take pre-workout. My pre-workout is food. I like having a meal not too long before I work out. Give myself at least an hour to digest it. but I'll often have a very carb-heavy meal, probably about 2 hours before I work out. But most pre-workout is just caffeine, right? It gives you that energy where you're just like I gotta lift, I gotta lift, I gotta lift. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go, and you're just you got almost ADHD energy. That's what pre-workout is. I find I don't need it, and I actually minimize how much caffeine I don't drink pop, I don't drink coffee. I just like getting my energy through food. I feel like I wake up every morning, I'm good to go. I have all the energy I need throughout the day. I just go, 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 work hard, play hard, and then get home and put my feet up, and life is good. But I'm going to start. Let's see. I have to find a better camera position, actually. Yeah, it's pre-workout is basically all the same. Um, you want to get a benefit. You want to get your benefit out of your supplements. There's the whey protein, like whey isolate protein, and there's creatine if you want to take that. Everything else is very gimmicky, where it's like you get everything you need out of food. It's just the protein powder helps just to make sure the protein's there when you need it, as well as the whey isolate is a fast-acting protein where it goes right, it gets absorbed right away, as opposed to something like casein protein, which is something you eat and it's absorbed throughout the day. But all right, I want to start my stretch here. I'll get the set up. My camera. So I want to be able to go over. Oh, I'm tight. I'm very tight right now.
Everyone, it's Nico, and today I'm going to be taking you through a complete beginner's flexibility routine. If you're someone who feels that flexibility is one of your weakest suits, this video is for you.
All right. So this is a monkey see, monkey do
On the mat,
stretch.
I'm going to bring my right arm up and just place it over the other side of my head and just let gravity pull me down. This is something that you always want to keep in your mind while you're stretching, is to just let gravity do all of the work.
I want to start stretching before it gets too hot in here.
Pushing yourself into anything, because that can cause pain. Just letting your neck fall, using the weight of your right arm to pull on your neck, and then we'll switch to the other side. Again, you don't want to be pulling down on your neck, as that could hurt you. Just rest it there. Then we'll wrap both arms behind our head to go forward. Just let it dangle. Every time you breathe, your muscles get more relaxed. And finally, we'll just hang our head back. Maybe shake it a little bit side to side. And now we'll take one roll. And then to the other side. Then we'll roll our shoulders back. And forward.
I'm planning to stream Stardew Valley tomorrow or the day after, or the day after. It's just
And forward.
If I've been streaming with another streamer, Ellie Derringer, and if I wasn't streaming with her, I would just be playing it on my own. But she's got ideas on how to beautify my farm, So I don't want to go too far
And what we're doing here is
until
we're
she's
stretching
sort of
out
got
the
everything in
body,
place.
letting it warm up,
But it's
getting
been
all of the
difficult
muscles moving before we
to
start stretching.
sort
And
out
this is something that you
a
should
schedule where we can play with each
do
other.
before you stretch. You don't
That
want to just
sounded
start pushing your body into something it's not ready for. If your muscles are warm, you're going to find
it's
that
been
the
difficult to
flexibility much
set up
easier.
a time because I've been so busy with my schedule. Echelon, how's it going? I only saw that you were
Great. So for this next stretch,
really in the dancing stream last week. When I was reviewing the video later, I sort of got preoccupied with
anything will work. So if you need to grab that, go ahead and
my
do it
partner
now.
there, and
So I'm going to come and place my feet more than hip width apart.
had
And then
a lot of fun that day. But
to rest
all
our
right,
hands on this stool.
next.
And this is just to make
I was able to check in, see how you're doing.
You really want to make progress here.
So how are you doing today?
You're not putting too much pressure on your hands, but it's there to keep it from being too painful. So let's hold here. Make sure you're breathing, sending oxygen to your hamstrings while you stretch them. And try as hard as you can to relax, because the more relaxed your
I'm gonna have to bring my phone here so I can see the chat while I'm stretching. I think my battery is only like 20%.
And then I will come up and we'll move it a little bit to the side.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Makes a line with my leg, and then I'll come to the side. In this position, I want to make sure my hips are even and I'm not letting one be higher than the other. And again, I'm breathing. And then we'll come back up.
Yeah, I think you've caught basically every one of my streams, Echelon. It's just, I realize I haven't been streaming as much recently.
Stool or chair or whatever you're using.
And a lot of that's because I've been beating up my body so much at the gym.
Remember to breathe. And back up. And just one more time for good measure, we're going to come back to the center. So
Well, close to.
Elbows here to give myself a little bit of an extra stretch, but I only recommend doing this.
Maybe you're just so memorable that.
And by that I mean it's engaged. Your shoulder blades are tucked down, pulling towards your lower back.
I am sick. Wow, my glutes are absolutely like my glutes and my hamstrings.
Should be parallel to the ground.
Oh.
And if you aren't able to do that here, then come back up onto your hands.
Yeah, maybe you're just so memorable that if you show up once and that counts for like 3 streams if you miss a couple. It's like, yeah, he's still here, right? All right. You joined the second gym. Yeah, I'm sticking with row 1 right now. But I took a video today at the gym. I had 810 pounds on my back. I already showed it to Arcanus. Okay, go and focus you. You just have to trust me that there's 18 plates on there. If I get out of the... I'll post it on Instagram later. Yeah, so I do a set of 10. You can hear me breathe. And this is my very last set after a 2-hour workout. So I was already pretty, my legs are already pretty beat up. All right. You can hear them vacuuming in the background too. So while I'm here, I'm gonna get Twitch on my phone so I can read chat while I'm on the ground. And how do I do that? I go here, I click on myself again. Bonsai, we're in business. Turn on the volume up. Oh. Yeah, so that is 10 pounds. I still got the marks on my shoulders from the weight, but it's not a squat. It turns a squat into a mixture of a leg press and a hip thrust, and it almost feels like you're a footballer and they have those pads in front of you that they hold, and you gotta run into them and try to push these things down the field. That's what it feels like. But I'm gonna go back to my
On the edge
stretching
of my
here.
mat and extend my legs
Hold on,
out.
this woman's taking off without me, and I want to find a nice spot here where I can. Perfect. I think it's a little bit blurry. I actually don't have any music right now. Normally when I dance around in my stream, I've got music that you can't hear. But right now I'm hooked into my desktop audio so that you guys can hear my stretching video. So I gotta make my own little beats. Dance, monkey dance. This camera. I think this week I'm going to buy a backup camera, and I've done some research where going out of focus is a common problem on this camera, and it could be because the lens itself, like the opticals on it, might be screwed on a little bit too tight or a little bit too loose. So you can break the seal of the glue and twist it and turn it until it stays in focus. But I suspect I'm probably going to break the thing when I try it, so I want to have a backup just in case. But I'm going to, maybe I will see if this helps. I think that helped. So let's start the video.
Now in a full straddle stretch, your legs will be straight, but in our modified version, we'll have our legs bent here, lifting our knees up off of the ground. And from here, just go as far forward as you can. Now, I encourage you to place your hands a foot, maybe 2 feet in front of your hips. And from here, you want to slowly try and straighten your legs, bringing your knees to touch the ground. So that's what you're fighting for. And you just want to hold. So straddle stretch is a great stretch to be able to see your own progress in. I encourage you to pay attention to the floor if you're stretching in the same place every day, because you'll start to see your hands move along, and it's really encouraging.
Yeah, I fill them out.
So while you're pulling to get into these stretches a little bit deeper, you always want to make sure you're pulling from the right
place. How's it going?
And the common thing to do is pull the top of your
I finished the leg day, now I'm just stretching. I had a lot of fun that night. That was a good night. I used to go dancing with a group every weekend. We'd go to live music or to a club or somewhere, and I swear to God, I got my ass grabbed every club I've ever gone to.
And think about trying to get that pulled down all the way to the ground. Okay, so now we're going to stretch each side, and in a normal straddle stretch, we can stay here and then
it's all the squats.
Side, but to make it a bit easier, we bring our opposite leg in and then go over. So you want to grab onto your leg and pull your chest closer as you stretch.
Well,
you want to make sure you're keeping that back flat.
It's good to be self-aware.
If you arch, but you're losing all of that.
I read your last comment before the one before that.
So fight for that flat back and try and get that chest to your knee. And now we'll go to the other side. So we'll switch, bring our other leg into our thigh, and then fold over. I'm pulling my chest to my knee.
Oh no, do what you need to do for your mental health. If you keep your body healthy, that's already going to do wonders for your mental health, because then you can sort of focus on one front instead of fighting more battles on more fronts.
And come back up.
And everything
To
gets
the center.
more difficult
Let's
when.
do the middle stretch one more time. So we'll bend our knees and come forward. Maybe notice that you've made a little bit of an improvement, a centimeter or two. Each time you do it, you should feel a little bit more comfortable.
Thanks.
And fight to lower your knees a little
I am
bit.
so tight right now, you don't even know. I'm feeling my hamstrings. My hamstrings feel like they're twice as big as normal. I know they're not, but that's what it feels like.
3 more seconds. Really lower down as far as you can. And come out of it. Amazing. So now we're going to bring our feet into the middle for a butterfly.
I've had a good day.
And here
I got up
to sit
early.
and hold my ankles.
I had some fruit. Read a book. Went out did some grocery shopping. Went for a walk.
Either in your groin or in your glutes.
I cleaned up.
Maybe both.
I prepared some really nice salads for a couple days. So, but right now my fridge is full of salad. I got like salad with cucumbers, tomatoes, green peppers, onions. I bought a couple of different types of salads. I got like romaine lettuce that I chopped up, as well as I bought prepackaged salads. Like green salad, this salads, and then I got some spicy, some chicken, which I fried with banana peppers and sriracha sauce. So they're nice and spicy, give it some kick. I have some Guy's spicy barbecue sauce. 2 tablespoons of it is 10 calories, and 2 tablespoons is enough to season something that's like this, like a bowl that's like this big and that deep. And
your body is to actually come up onto one knee and extend the other one in front of you, so that you can start to
I've eaten well.
That'll make it a lot easier.
I've reduced my calories this weekend a little bit because I've been getting a little bit less lean. Well, I've also been getting more muscular, but I've been
maybe a few towels stacked
I gotta keep it in check. So I can get less lean, but I want it to be controlled. I want everything to be controlled. So I'm just cutting back my calories, eating more less rice, meat, and vegetables. Because I've been eating lots of rice, meat, and vegetables, but I've been letting my hunger dictate how much I'm eating.
And if you are here and you're sitting up super straight and it's already stretching the backs of your hamstrings, that is absolutely great. I encourage
you. You went to the gym today?
Keep fighting for
Good on you. Just stay safe. Pay attention to social distancing. Often the gym itself will.
Maybe you can do it, but you might find
what's the word? It'll
progress in a stretch that's slightly more comfortable.
it'll condition the people inside it to act a certain way, depending on how everything's laid out, depending on where everything is. And I've seen gyms where it's like condition everybody to go to one tiny corner and no one's following any social distancing, this or that. Whereas other ones, it's more like it has people more aware that yes, we're still in a pandemic.
Okay, so I'm just gonna scooch forward a little bit so
yeah.
I can lay down on my back here.
It's I'm gonna pause the video here. So yeah, we gotta wear masks at my gym the whole time, and I had lots of time to find masks that worked for me and that I could breathe in, and I found one in particular that worked really well, and I bought like 5 or 6 of them. And it's something I can breathe in, I can have a workout, and what'll happen is I'll be breathing, and it'll actually get moist in there eventually, particularly if I'm doing a leg day or if I'm warming up on the bike. What I'll do is as soon as it gets too moist, I'll switch it for another mask. So I'll bring a couple masks, keep one in my pocket, switch it. And it makes it a lot more bearable. Oh, this isn't actually a brand. This is something that's homemade by a woman here in my city. So she actually started a business. She makes them herself, and they're really nice. Like you saw me on that video where I got that mask. It's um, yeah, like if anything, normally like how would I fog up your glasses? Well, this thing actually comes out like like if anything leaks out, it's gonna be by my ears. All right, this is the part where I go on my back. Yeah, I got a couple. I got an Adidas one. That thing was crap. I hated it. It's like, oh, it's Adidas. That's what everyone was wearing at the gym. And I wore it. It's like it's crappy. It's like fog up my glasses. It's like they get its size and everything. You go there, you feel like you're really well taken care of because you're getting a high quality product. But the material doesn't breathe. It really frustrated me, particularly with how long I had to wait for it. Um, I I have those surgical masks, like those disposable blue masks as well, just on hand. I keep a package of it in my car in case something happens. Keep a package by my front door. I can give it to somebody else. But I've been staying away from using those because I know somebody who like if you reuse those, this happened to her. And what happened is the mask a couple times, like I think like 3 times she told me, and on the third time it actually disintegrates and little like really tiny particles can come off the mask, and the mask actually ended up in her eye. So a particle of the mask ended up in her eye, and she had to go to the hospital. And the mask is supposed to keep you out of the hospital, not like the hospitals are a place you don't want to be right now. This was when the numbers were the worst, and it was no one knew what was going on, and it was like, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna rewind 10 seconds on this video. I'm gonna lay on my back. This is my favorite stretch right here.
And we're gonna lift one leg up, and you can grab it as low as you need to. The other thing
I don't want to use the strap yet.
is grab a belt or a scarf or an actual exercise
my hamstrings
around your
are so
heel,
tight.
and then pull your leg closer. But holding lower down on your leg is just fine too. And as you're practicing this stretch, you want to make sure that you're always reaching.
I can't see my foot. I'm gonna have to
get them all the way up here. This really is the goal of this stretch, but for now, it's fine to grab it down here. And then I'm gonna bend my knee in, pull it to my chest, and bring it over my body to come to a twist.
I always try to pop my back with this one.
Really feeling it all.
Ever since I herniated my disc and tore my glutes, I can pop my back this way.
And come back. And we'll straighten again. Always pulling it closer to you.
Uh-oh.
Feeling that stretch in the hamstring. And one more time, pulling.
I'm surrounded in stuff.
And then over. Every time you breathe, relax your spine a bit more.
So after this woman finishes her stretches, I'm going to pause the video
Come back to center.
and I'm going to do my own thing.
And switch. Bring the other leg up. Grab as high up as you can.
Oh, this is so tight.
Closer to you.
Oh, that's tight.
Making sure that top leg is all the way straight.
Keep my chat nearby.
And then bending it in. To pull across your body. Turn your head to face the other way. And breathe. Releasing your spine, letting it fully twist. come back to center. And do it all one more time. So stretch the leg out straight. Grab as high as you can and then pull. Really breathing. And bring it back in.
All right. So let's pause this video.
Pull tight to your chest.
Oh, she's twisting. Never mind.
And then we'll pull it back over.
You never guess I've done this video. I followed this video like 100 times. I can't even keep track of what's next. But to be fair, it's been a while. I've been neglecting my stretching since July.
Back to center. And put our leg down. Okay.
All right.
So now we're going to...
Now I'm going to bring out my yoga strap. That's the next thing I'm going to do here. Oh, and if you sort of try to point your toes towards your face, you get a really, really big calf stretch. You know what? It's very hot down here. I don't have the fan on me. So I'm going to lower it. That's much better. I had the fan on me when I was sitting down, but not when I was laying down. Yeah. You know, my dad does the rodeo stuff. He competes, he goes to the States, and he often wins too. So he's got he'll like do the thing where you ride on a horse, one guy lassos the bull's horns, the other guy lassos the bull's leg, and then you jump off the horse and tie up the bull. And meanwhile, my dad's still in his 50s. Oh. But he's got, whenever he brings out the lasso rope, the dog just F's off. Because the dog knows if the dog's around, he's gonna get lassoed. So you'll actually see the dog like take one look and just bolt. My dad's got like a hay bale with horns attached to it that he uses to practice on. Yeah. Can't say I've never been lassoed before either. I can say, honestly, that I didn't enjoy it. What's this? Yeah. No, I'm safe though. Everything I'm doing, I'm talking with you guys, but half my brain attention is paying attention to my body, how it feels. I like this one. This one looks more impressive than it is. Yeah. Sometimes, like, I've been having issues with my groin a while back, and how I was able to do these stretches with the cable is I would sleep and open up my hips by sleeping like this. And just like gravity, separate the legs. And you might not think it, but you might go 5 minutes like this, not a problem. 10 minutes, it might start to really, really burn. So when I was having problems with my hips, this is how I sleep. I sleep for like maybe my first half an hour like this, and then it would get too painful, so I go sleep like normal, and then maybe later in the night I might just spend like 5 minutes here or there, just getting my butt nice and close to my hips. You don't want to put too much force on the outside though, because you can hurt yourself. But one thing you can actually do is you can actually put towels, rolled up towels, under each side of the leg just to keep them supported, and then it's a little bit safer. And literally lying down. All right. All right. So now, left leg. Can't neglect one or the other. I'm gonna finish my hamstrings and my calves here, and then I'm going to hit my glutes. Oh, this is so tight. Oh, what is Austin Powers? No, not Austin Powers. Gold Tooth or whatever his name is. Tight like a tiger. Oh, Gold Tooth, Goldfinger, or Gold Member. That's the. Wow, Gold Tooth. Yeah, I had a conversation last night where like someone was discussing the best moments in Shrek, and that Shrek brings back a lot of memories for me. I remember being in grade 9 when Shrek 1 came out, and I grew up in a small town where we had one movie theater, and guess where everybody went that night? All right, thanks for coming by. Can't really flip. I'll do a. I can't flex, but I can flop like a fish. Yeah. Sleep is part of training too, and even if you're not training, sleep is part of maintaining a healthy lifestyle. All right. I'm looking at myself in the camera right now. It doesn't look natural. And I think the reason why I was thinking about the Goldmember movie was there's a scene where Goldmember is on rollerblades and he's like dancing while on rollerblades, and you see like obviously not his legs, but one leg ends up like up here and the other leg, and then suddenly both legs end up at the same time, and he's still somehow managing to escape. This sort of looks like that. All right. Now I will. What I'm doing is I'm twisting my foot through my hip bone, bring it across. This one burns. Boy, does this burn. Almost looks like I have leg muscles. All right, now I'll twist the other way. Yeah, definitely this side's tighter. away from the wall. Oh. I think I'll push it a little bit at the end there. I think I heard myself some water. But small talk from precarious positions. Well, I do like my small talk. All right, so what's next? Glutes. So I'm going to do first off the wall, and I'm going to put force on my knee towards the wall while keeping it, like not letting myself push, so not letting myself twist, keep myself locked in and push on the muscle. Any more chat? Can't quite tell. No. Yeah, so far, the time when I enjoyed streaming the most, can you guys hear me from down here? I hope so. The time where I enjoyed streaming the most was back in June when I was preparing to move. I moved apartments. Well, not back in June. Back in May, leading up to June. I think I moved into this apartment like May 29th. And for a week, I was moving every day. I was just doing stuff. And I was moving every day, and then I was working out every day. And there was a lot of accomplishment I felt there, as well as when I was streaming every day, I had more. When I first started streaming, I was streaming every day. But at the time, I didn't really have any regulars yet. I still had people coming in and finding what I was all about. But back in May, I already had some regulars as well as streaming every day. I had more viewers in regularly, and not so much viewers. I just had lots of people to talk to. I was going. I was happy to talk with everybody, having some good workouts. And then right after, when June started, I stopped streaming every day. Actually, not even then. So June, I was still streaming pretty regularly. But then July, I stopped streaming every day, and my viewership dropped off quite a bit. But that's fine. I got quite a few regulars like Echelon and Mr. Banda. There's some people that I'm sure I haven't seen in a while. I'm sure they'll pop in every once in a while. All right, so I think my glutes are well stretched. And now I'm going to have to change my camera. Oh wait, how's it going? You missed me doing making a wish, right? You know, when you get some what are they? The chicken bones where you make a wish, and yeah. I was doing that with my legs earlier, just like 2 minutes ago. But now that I'm up, I'm following along with a stretching video. And next up is some quads and some shoulders, and then another video. Here, I'll give you a teaser. What was good? I have my strap. First, my leg back. Then while it's back, doing now I gotta do the same with the other leg or I'll feel weird. Feels like I'm about to make a wish. Yeah. Whew. I've had a lot of good workouts recently, but I haven't been streaming my workouts, and I wish I had the energy. Like, I would love to take you guys to the gym with me, but it's I took a video today of a workout I did where I had 810 pounds on my back, but even then I had to sneak it in and I had to wait till there's nobody around. I waited till at the end of my two-hour workout, my last set, they were already shutting down the gym. You can hear them in the background, but everyone's gone and the staff were on the other side. So I get away with taking a quick 1 minute video. I could do it standing, but that wouldn't give me the same benefits of why I do it, right? So like if I do stuff standing, like even with the stretching, like I go one leg, right, and you just up, and you're focusing more on control, keeping your balance, right? But there's a lot of other stuff that goes on that takes away just from like a straight stretch, right? But at the same time, more performance. So I'm gonna finish this video right now, and then I have another one to come.
Standing position, and I'm going to bring one foot up to grab behind me. During this quad stretch, I want to make sure that I'm pushing my hips forward, so I'm getting that full stretch all along my quad and into my hip flexor. And while you're here, I want to take a minute to tell you that you should always be working every single day, stretching and working towards that flexibility. But you also have to remember that your focus is not going to huge. I want to make a standing position, and I'm going to bring one foot up to grab behind me. During this quad stretch, I want to make sure that I'm pushing my hips forward, so I'm getting that full stretch all along my quad and into my hip flexor.
Jesus.
And while you're here, I want to take a minute to tell you that you should
I can't do my balance
be
anymore.
every
I move
single
around
day
too much.
stretching and working towards that flexibility. But you also have to remember that your progress is not going to be linear. You're not going to be making constant, amazing results every single day. Some weeks you'll do great, and others.
I'm on the side of my foot. That's the problem.
Not to get discouraged.
As well as I think my floor is actually not level right there.
You will get there. So let's switch to the other side. Really feeling that stretch all in that quad and in that hip flexor, pushing my hips forward, bringing my heel to touch my butt behind me.
Is that Arcanus? I'll read that in a second. Or
hip flexors are
I'll
always
turn,
really tight while we're sitting at work,
grab my phone.
sitting anywhere in the car. Our natural seated position actually allows them to contract a lot, so it's really great to stretch them out.
Jeez, can't get my balance.
And then we'll come out. And for that position too,
Well, that's embarrassing. I'm normally better than this.
go ahead and grab onto a wall or a chair next to you. So lastly, we're going to stretch our arms. So I'm going to bring my right one across my body and pull it in with my left. Really allowing.
All right, so.
And then we'll come out. And for that position too, if you're having trouble balancing, go ahead and grab onto a wall or a chair next to you. So lastly, we're going to stretch our arms. So I'm going to bring my right one across my body and pull it in with my left. Really allowing this shoulder to relax here so that I can get a full stretch.
Yeah, I follow along with this video, but one thing that stresses me out
Left arm is the only
is the woman doesn't spend an equal amount of time on each side. So it'll be, I'll count to 10 on one side, and then I'll count like 8 on the other side, and she'll move on. And that bothers me every time. So I'll often pause the video, or I'll let her do her own thing, and I'll just catch up later.
And then we'll shake it out again. Do the tricep on this side. You really want to try and pull your hand to your shoulder and the arm that's stretching. Don't let it hang out up here. And then shake it out.
So if this is too far, I'm losing the stretch in my tricep. Whereas here, I'm getting a nice stretch in my tricep. So if I go too far, my shoulder is...
Awesome job, guys. So that's all I have for you today. I really hope that this video helped you. Please let me know in the comments what worked.
From the roller.
And if there was any other areas that you'd like me to focus on.
I didn't notice that.
Next video. Bye.
Yeah, that roller is great for recovery. I would definitely recommend it for anybody who has sore lower back. It's one of those things where you gotta regularly use it, but you will very quickly see an improvement on the quality of like your aches and pains, your body, your life. Yeah, I was gonna shave it off because I was out in the bush every day, and I didn't have to really be presentable for any Zoom meetings or anything. So I just let it grow out, and then a couple of streams ago, I mentioned I was going to shave it off, and I had somebody who's like, "No, don't do that." So okay, whatever. So I trimmed it all even, and I cleaned it up, and I'll keep it like this for a while. Keep it clean and let it fill in a little bit better. All right. So now I have another video. Oh, I like watching when I'm lifting. I like looking at my shoulders, seeing what's going on. I like to see striations. I like to see the separation of the muscle there. Yeah. I remember my entire when I was a kid, I was always very self-conscious about a couple of things. One, the size of my hands. I remember the girl I liked putting my hand on top of hers, and her fingers were like up to here. I just my hands are compact, but they're also strong. I don't have the biggest hands, as well as not having like tons of hair. I don't shave my chest. I don't do any of that. But now that I'm older, I'm actually grateful that I don't have to like wax my back like my dad does, which is like my dad started going bald around 18. His hair started thinning out at 18, and he's got like tons of back hair, and it's like you can pretty much take the back hair off his back, put it on his head, he'd have a full head of hair. Tanner Holt, how's it going? Lots of volume, lots of hypertrophy, and then just time. And if you want to get big, you got to eat. But it took me 4 years. Well, it took me 6 months to 1 year to put on a lot of weight, and then I spent the next 3.5 years polishing it to get into my peak fitness. And then that was several years ago. I ended up catching an autoimmune disease. I got Lyme disease, and then I lost all my muscle, started up back again from basically ground zero. I don't really do that much cardio right now, but cardio is good if you want to keep staying lean. Otherwise, it has to be done entirely through your diet. Um, like I'm still going on regular walks, but I'm not. I don't really consider that cardio. For myself, I got my stationary bike here, but I broke it back in June. And before that, every 2 days, I would try to burn 1,000 calories as fast as I could on a stationary bike. And that means I'm pedaling all out as for an hour and a half, 2 hours, burn off my 1,000 calories, and then that's my cardio. Put on like I dislike doing cardio. I would rather do sports. I would rather go do partner dancing, but the world is shut down right now, and I don't have that option. So instead, I just okay, do my cardio, put on a movie, suck it up, take my brain off of the tedious task I'm doing, and just there's my movie, there's my audiobook. Let's go. Just do it because I had to. But cardio will go a lot longer for you. Like will go a lot quicker and a lot longer for your health than lifting weights will. Like optimally, you have like the trifecta, and it's going to be more than three things. It's going to be like you want resistance training, cardio, your diet, and your sleep. So that's four things. A trifecta with four things. I get the irony in that, but if like having lots of muscles is great and all, but training like doing cardio, having a healthy heart, that'll go a lot longer for improving your health, right? Because like a lot of people that are like when you get like the mass monsters, people that just have tons and tons of muscles on them, often their heart struggles to maintain that amount of mass, as well as a lot of people who are like powerlifting and they just want to be big. They don't care how much fat they have or how much muscle they have. They want as much muscle as they can, and they don't care how much fat comes along beside that. Well, they might be able to lift a ton, but they're not as healthy as somebody who's a more regular body fat percentage. All right, so yeah, yeah. But then people are gonna start subbing to me and then trying to give me money, and they like. On the other hand, I can make points. I want to set up somewhere where I can do muscle ups and then have points. Like if you spend X number of points, I'll do X number of muscle ups, or maybe handstand push-ups or some other calisthenic type exercises, or maybe the splits. I might try the splits. Oh, I like seeing that. Yeah, redeemables. Yeah, my probably my biggest failing is that when I'm comfortable, I'm perfectly happy maintaining the status quo. Like right now, I'm basically getting everything I need out of streaming, right? Like every like it's actually better than what I hoped. So I had hopes and dreams just like everybody else. Well, it's been better to me than what I not only expected, but what I hoped it would be, and it saved my 2021. I was falling off the rocker. I was during our second lockdown. I for the first time since I started working out, I was losing the motivation to actually lift weights. And I know all I have to do is show up, and I'm going to have a good time every day. I'm going to walk out there, give myself a pat on the back. I'm going to feel good, but I wasn't showing up. And I started using Twitch to hold myself accountable. And not only that, my home workouts. I started training at home, just a pair of dumbbells, and that's all I had. That's all I did, and I was perfectly happy to do it at the time, training every day at home. Well, once I started going to the gym, it's like the heavens opened up and there's a whole new world up there, and I could never enjoy my home workouts the same. The gym was a large part of my social life. It was where I just meet people, even if I'm not talking with them. It's just like being part of a collective, and particularly, I train at the same time every day, become one of the regulars, see the same people that train at that time, the staff gets to know you, and it's all good things from there. I'm going to set up my next video right now.
New video, like I said, just
and find,
stretching your hamstring
alright, so,
or in the opposite.
alright. I still got the red marks on my back. Well, I know I still got it on my shoulder from having the weight on my shoulder for my leg day. But I'm going to do my next stretching video. This one is a lot harder, so I might going to be away from the computer for the most part. So I'll have to make sure I got my phone back on me. And I want to set it up so that's too high. Alright, so maybe a little bit low. No, I want to be able to get up. Alright, so maybe this, I'll make this work. I'll start the video, and let's go.
To get the same effect. If you're doing this right, like I said, this shouldn't just benefit your hamstrings, it should go all the way up through your spine.
It's good.
Alright, and for our second stretch, we're going to do the half split. So what you're going to do is extend your right foot forward, and then your back leg bent, and then we're going to go ahead and reach
chat with
the
me.
side and then take it forward to target two different muscles in our hamstring, starting with the outside and then into the under hamstring. So take your left arm and reach all the way over until you're getting close to your toe. You should feel a deep stretch in your hamstring and also underneath your armpit. And then go ahead and take it forward. It's okay if you can't go all the way down, but go as close to your leg as you can. Then we're going to go to the side again. So reach all the way over past your toe. Feel that deep stretch. And then we're facing our knee again. And then we're going to do one more of those. So over to the side. And then put your stomach on your leg again. And just sit there for about 5 seconds or so. And now we're going to put our chest towards the center. So this is probably going to be a deeper stretch for most of you. So put your elbows all the way down to the ground.
Yeah, 2018, I herniated my disc and I tore my glute. And I did every physiotherapy exercise my physiotherapist gave me. I had to stretch religiously in order to function every day. And I became quite stretchy.
What's going to stretch in your quadricep a little bit. So go back. And if you can't
This would look like I've amputated my leg.
just stay here on your elbows. And I'm going to do a little bit more of an advanced version and go further down for a further stretch like this. Just follow along with Karina if you're feeling like this is too much of a stretch.
I have had one drink
Elbows.
my whole life,
Feel this in your hip
and it's
flexors.
because somebody tricked me.
So by stretching all these muscles in our hips and our quadricep area, it's going to help increase our flexibility in our hamstrings as well. Now go all the way back up and go forward one more time.
Well, these two women,
And just hold it there for 5 seconds.
it's funny because it feels like I know them because I've been listening to their videos for so long. But realistically, like they have no idea what to do. No, they have no idea who I am. They don't know I've.
And just like before,
Okay,
stay
hold
on
on.
your elbows, and if you're feeling like you want a little bit more of a stretch, then go all the way flat on your back.
I'm actually very stiff today, so you might see me as being flexible right now. I just see
And I'm going to walk
how
up
inflexible I am.
left side now.
Everything's not
Which
moving
is
how I want it to.
It's a little bit less flexible. It is for most people. So you might
And these
feel
women,
more
they go from one pose to another pose to another pose.
side again.
I can never keep up. I always gotta pause the video, go back, rewind, give myself some time. Oh, here, I'll get caught up in chat here. I sort of was trying to multitask and sort of failing at that. Cooper, Graham, 69, 69. Yeah, I don't know. I like people. I like women. Oh, I had a thought though. What was I going to talk? Oh yeah, it was the beer. So my I do partner dancing. I've met a lot of amazing people, and primarily they are women because for the longest time when you start dancing, if you're a lead, you're dancing with follows. Well, the leads are typically male, and all the follows are typically female. And so you go to an event that's got like 100 people in it, and you might, like right away, you might meet 50 women. And at the same time, all the guys are dancing, but it's not until you go to like after parties and here and there that you actually start to meet the guys. So I was dancing for a while, but I would meet maybe one guy a dance where I take a break for 5 minutes, go down, sit beside someone, talk to them, like, hey, how's it going? Like learn who they are. Meanwhile, in one night, it's like dance after dance after dance after dance, and then at one point in time, I realized like guys who I don't even know yet, and then so you make I made a attempt just to meet people, but it's just sort of the structure of the way it's set up. And it's the same thing with the women, where a lot of the women, they don't get to know each other very well unless there's like a home. But one thing that's good about the dancing is it's a very social group, where like partner dancing is very social. Often you'll have house parties later where it's like, hey, let's just meet up and play board games, and then have like in the basement you can go dance if you want to. Back to the beer comment. I've had one drink my whole life, and that was by accident, and that's because my dance instructor tricked me because she thought that I knew that her cup or her mug that she always brings to classes was water, when in fact it was basically straight tequila. So I took like 3 chugs before the taste actually hit me. I was like, oh, that's not water. It's like, oh, sorry, I thought you knew. But for myself, I've had a lot of problems in my family with alcohol, and I've watched it destroy people that I love. So I always avoided it, and at this point, I'm just stubborn. Like that's all it is now, just stubbornness. Gentleman lifter, how's it going? So this guy here, and you're talking about my beard. This guy's got the beard to. If you want to follow somebody for a beard, that's the guy. That's the guy you got to follow. He's a power lifter. He's always does some good. He always does good work. I think yesterday I was in a stream. He was doing pause squats. What was it? 315 or something? I might be wrong. Yeah, I often visit the fitness and health community. I find watching other people improve themselves, watching other people really put themselves out there, watching other people just move their bodies, it inspires me. It makes me want to move my body, makes me want to lift. And that people asked me before earlier in the stream, do I take pre-workout? I don't take pre-workout. That is my pre-workout. Just psych myself up, make myself want to move, and then I'm good to go. That's anyways. I've never competed in bodybuilding, mostly because competing stresses me out. I've been stage ready before, and that was just for my 10th year of high school reunion. I basically showed up where I could have competed and placed, if not won, bodybuilding competitions. I was like 5% body fat, and I was just ripped. I have 6 abs that you can see. I got another 2 right now that are buried in fat. So, yeah, I was doing. I did a leg day today, had a lot of fun. I snuck in a video earlier where I'm doing some the machine squats with 810 pounds. It's not a squat. It doesn't really translate into what you can do for your like three main lifts, but it feels good. It's an exercise that's really knee friendly. Like it feels like there's no stress on your knee. It turns a squat into a mixture of a leg press and a hip thrust, where you're just like, huh, and you can load up a lot of weight. I can feel my glutes really fired when I'm doing it. Yeah, I try to more. I stay away from pre-work. Well, I stay away from caffeine mostly these days. Um, but I'm gonna continue with my stretching here.
And I'm gonna walk up and do the
And
left side
which side was
again.
it doing? Okay, this side.
Which it's okay if this one's a little bit less flexible. It is for most people, so you might feel a little
Oh,
bit more of a stretch. So
but
you're gonna go all the way over to the side again and reach towards your toes. And again, you should feel
I'm
all the way
very
through your
stiff
arm and down
today.
the side of your body.
My hamstrings feel like twice as big as normal. Like I know they're not, but I've done so much. I really hit them today really hard.
And go again to the side. Then again back down to our knee. And one more time. All the way over to the side. Reach past your toes. And face down on our knee again. Alright, now we're going to do our stretch where we're going to go forward down to the ground. Just go as far as you can. Don't push it too much if it's hurting.
I got Chad here with me right here.
And you should feel this in your inner thigh as well.
Yeah, Arcanus is also a streamer.
Walk your way back up and go all the way back around.
Just a very good-natured person.
And either be on your elbows, or if you want more of a stretch again, go all the way down.
Hopefully you guys can hear me from down here.
And hold it there for about 5 seconds.
Yeah, Arcanus.
Up,
What's funny,
forward again.
Arcanus is probably the only streamer that I watch that plays video games aside from Ryu Car,
All the way forward.
which is Super Mario Bros. So he plays this sort of Paladins game that I don't know anything about.
And elbows towards the ground again.
It's like a first-person shooter, but Harry Potter style.
And now I'm going to walk back up my last time. Alright, and so for my next position, I'm going to go ahead and get into a lunge position. So go ahead and take your left foot and plant it into the ground and extend your back leg out behind you.
Spoofy time. Is that what that is? I walked into your stream and it was, you were talking about somebody getting peed on. I was like, okay. Context on this one, please.
Feel in both areas. And then go ahead and rock back and forth a little for a deeper stretch. And then I'm going to go ahead and go up. And you're going to feel this in your right hamstring the farther forward you push onto your left foot. And also you're going to feel this in your left calf. And we're going to go back down. And make sure you're stretching both that hip flexor and your left hamstring. Just remember that it's important to stretch all these other muscles in order to get the full
Never miss a
effect
chance to
of
flex.
the hamstring stretch. Now we're going to go back up. Now we're going to rotate to the center. So just move your hips this way. You stay there for a few seconds. If you want more of a stretch, go ahead and grab your ankles and pull your head through. But no need to do this if it's too much of a stretch. And rotate your hips to the other side. And
So,
reach your left ankle
I
into
started with the wrong leg first.
stretch. And then back into a lunge. after a few seconds. And just like the other side, go ahead and make sure that you're pushing this left hip into the ground.
Oh, I'm getting hot. That's why I sort of started rushing my workout again. I want to
Go back up.
get this section done before I get too hot.
And rock a little bit back and forth. Make sure you're targeting all those different areas of that back hamstring muscle. And then one more time back down. Push that left hip way into the ground. And go back up.
Yeah, I found,
For a few more seconds.
I was surprised how close-knit some of the Twitch communities actually are, and how much love various streamers give to each other. I was trying to find,
And then go back to the center.
like for me, I'll often try to send my viewers as a raid to somebody, and it's something that's like a click of the mouse for me, but it can really make somebody else's day.
Just go ahead and get as close to the ground as you can. Now we're going to walk our feet together. So we're in a pike position. We're going to finish off this position right here by pulling your ankles again and having your
I'm
head
so
underneath
stiff.
your shins.
I can feel it. Oh, this is where I'm stiff. Normally I don't get my chest almost to my knees, but not today.
Seconds. Grab your ankles, pull yourself in. Release your neck, shake it out. And then pull your body into your chest one last time. And release. Alright, and so for this last position, it's going to be another form of the half splits. So we're going to start by taking our right foot in front of us. So take it out and parallel it to the mat. And bend your left knee. And we're going to start by just taking our chest and reaching it down forward in front of us to touch our near chin.
Alright, so this is, the splits will come next.
This is our last position.
I'm going to ignore what they say. I'm going to do my own thing for a bit.
And now I'm going to get into the splits by sliding my left leg back behind me and just going down as far as I can.
Oh.
And Karina's going to show probably more of what you guys are looking like at this point. I've been working on this for many years in my life, so don't be discouraged if you're not that close to the ground. But by watching this video a few times a week, hopefully you'll get closer to the goal. Now we're going to rotate to the left side.
I'm going to ignore her,
We're going to do that by bringing
and I'm just going to sit here and really feel it.
started in.
Right now, it's my hip flexor that's preventing me from getting any lower.
Take your left leg out in front of you. And again, take your chest to your shin.
Ah, okay, I got enough.
And for a
I've had
deep
enough.
stretch,
Oh.
flatten your back so you get it all the way parallel to your leg.
Let's go back.
And hold it. And we're going to do that by bringing your knee back up to the position we
So this
started
side's going to
in.
be worse.
And just take your knee and rotate. Take your left leg out in front of you.
Yeah.
And again, take your chest
And what's
to your
funny,
shin.
it actually gets more painful the longer you sit in it. You think, oh, you're going to relax and it's going to ease off. No, it starts to burn,
Parallel to your
and it
leg.
keeps burning until you can't handle it anymore. I'm going to do the side splits next.
Seconds. And again, this side is probably going to be harder for a lot of you because it's not most people's best side. So, and get prepared for the splits.
Yeah, so this side, my hip flexor is going to be really bad.
Out behind you, and go down as far as you can. So this is the goal that we have
Yeah,
here.
see?
Again,
My hip flexor is not going down.
of somebody who's still working on their splits, but after a few times of watching this video, you should improve a lot. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to The Psyche Truth and favorite this video if you enjoyed the stretch.
Oh. Alright, let's try to get down for it. Alright, enough of that. Whew. So that was fun. So I've basically gone through my whole stretching routine, and often this is the part where I either I started to relax a little bit into like either have my feet up the wall, or I would take my band and put it over my hips. But I think I'm gonna go off the wall right now. I got, oops, put the fan right on me so I don't. There we go. Overheat. Take you guys with me on my phone. That's how I'm looking at chat right now. And this, I can sleep like this. I'll often. Oh, oh. All right. Now, time to spread them. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. I gotta speak up when I'm down here, I know. Thanks. This one here burns even more than the other one. Oh, feels good. I had a good weekend. I've hit basically every muscle group. I'm ready to have a good night's sleep and then hit tomorrow running. Normally I might just put on some relaxing music, but I'll probably sit here for 5-10 minutes at most, and then I'll come back and chat with you guys in front of the monitor again and start to wind it down. One thing though is when I'm down here stretching, I'm not in front of the computer, so I don't really have a lot of moderating capabilities. So now would be the not that I'm giving anybody any ideas, but now would be a time where if people went a little bit insane in my chat, I'd be a little bit annoyed to have to get up to do something about it. All right, bye, bye. Yeah, I did a partner dancing stream last week. I'm gonna try to set up another one soon. I had a lot of fun. I'm still going down and breaking up, going through the VOD and disseminating different dance videos that we did. Parts of the video are muted, parts of them aren't. And some of the best dances were actually where we were muted. But the only ones I've been really saving and sharing are those that actually have sound attached to them. Where's my go? Now that I'm sort of relaxed a bit, a little deeper. Okay. Okay, that burns. I've only got willpower for another minute or two, and then my willpower is going to run out. My phone's off. Yeah, I will. I'll post them tomorrow. Although I don't really want to call them squats, or I'll get eaten alive by the fitness community. Those aren't necessarily squats. They're something though. They're a little bit of something. A little bit of something with 810 pounds on my back. That's what it is. Okay. I got enough. Ah! Oh. 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 Okay. Whew. My lower back's a little bit tight. I can feel it. Ah. Well, that's my typical stretching routine. An hour and 40 minutes. Normally it takes about an hour. So get this light off here. All right, thanks for coming by. I'll be sending you to somebody else pretty soon. Always a pleasure. You and Arcadis know each other. That's a little nice coincidence. I assume he might be one of your viewers as well. But I'm gonna find somebody to raid right now. I might wait a minute, but in the meantime, oh wow, my internet's being slow. I can send you to this guy. This is a professional bodybuilder here. I think he recently got his pro card not too long ago. And this guy puts in more work than me, hands down. So I'll raid Tucker Fitness. I like to flex at the end so I can see where it is, compare my size as I'm growing. But thank you everybody who came out and hung out with me today. I'm going to try to do more actual lifting streams on camera here. But for now, I did my lifting at the gym, and I made sure I came here afterwards. I'm having a little bit fatigued brain here. After you do so much exercise, I find the brain starts to shut down. And I'm just gonna pass you guys off before I stutter all over myself. Thank you everybody. It's been fun, and have a great night.